Welcome back to the channel where we bring you the most shocking, most unexpected, and most dramatic moment from the world of celebrities, media, and daytime television. You won't believe what just went down on live TV. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear is going to leave you absolutely speechless. This is the story of how one of Hollywood's most beloved stars, Michael B. Jordan, got into a fiery, unexpected, and downright explosive argument with none other than Whoopi Goldberg, leading to his shocking removal from the set of The View. It was a moment no one saw coming. A moment so intense it lit up social media within minutes and left the entire View audience stunned in disbelief. It all began on what was supposed to be a normal Thursday morning episode of The View. The stage was set, the audience was hyped, and the co-hosts were ready for what they thought would be an inspiring and engaging interview with Michael B. Jordan. He was there to promote his latest film, a high-octane political thriller that had been receiving rave reviews from critics. Expectations were high, but things took a turn almost immediately and not in the way anyone expected. Bob Michael entered the studio to thunderous applause. Dressed in a sleek black suit, exuding charisma and confidence, he looked like a man who was ready to charm and captivate the View's panel consisting of Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sarah and Sunny Hoskin, and Alyssa Farah Griffin welcomed him with the usual warmth, but it was clear from the very first exchange that tension was brewing. The opening segment began smoothly enough. Michael talked about his new film, shared behind-the-scenes stories, and even cracked a few lighthearted jokes. The audience was loving it, but then Whoopi decided to dig a little deeper. So, Whoopi began. Your new movie touches on some very serious social and political themes. Power, corruption, race, justice. Do you think Hollywood does enough to actually engage with these issues? Or is it just a lot of performative noise? It was a fair question, but Michael's response struck a chord. Well, I think Hollywood talks a lot, Michael replied. But when it comes to actual action diversity and casting, hiring directors of color, greenlighting real stories from marginalized communities, there's still a long way to go. And frankly, I think some folks talk about change more than they actually help make it happen. There was a pause, a slight but noticeable shift in the room's energy. Whoopi raised her eyebrow. Are you saying people like me aren't doing enough? She asked, her voice calm but edged with challenge. Michael didn't back down. I think some people have become part of the system, he said. They've been in the game so long that they don't see the ways they've adapted to survive and attend, maybe even protected. That's when the tension exploded. Whoopi leaned forward, voice sharper now. Let me be real clear about something, Michael. I've been fighting for inclusion in this industry since before you were born. I put my neck on the line more times than I can count. So don't come on this show and try to act like you're the only one who gets it. Michael tried to clarify. I'm not discounting your legacy, Whoopi. I'm saying that the fight is evolving, and sometimes the older generation needs to listen to Whoopi. Didn't appreciate the implication. Oh, so now we're the problem. She shot back. Is that what you're saying? Joy Behar jumped in, trying to cool things down with a nervous laugh. Okay, let's not start a generational war here. But the fire had already started, and there was no putting it out. Michael, visibly frustrated, responded with force. It's not a war, Joy, but it is a reality check. We can't keep patting ourselves on the back for what we did 20 years. They go while ignoring what's happening now. The audience was dead silent. You could have heard a pin drop. Sarah and Sunny host looked uncomfortable, shifting in their seats. Alyssa Farah Griffin sipped her coffee and stayed quiet, probably thinking it best not to wade into those waters. Whoopi turned fully toward Michael, her tone now icy and unmistakably stern. You don't know what I've done, Michael. You weren't there when I was being blackballed, when studio slammed doors in my face, when I had to claw my way to every opportunity. You think because you've had a few big roles, you've got it all figured out. Michael's jaw clenched. That's not what I'm saying. I respect what you've done, Whoopi. I really do, but we can't keep defending broken systems just because we survived them at this point. Producers in the back were panicking. You could see them behind the cameras, signaling, trying to get control of the situation. The show had gone completely off script. The teleprompter might as well have been blank. The View is known for controversy, But this was something else entirely. Then the moment that would go viral. Do it. Whoopi leaned back in her chair and said, "You've got a lot to learn, young man." Michael stood up, and maybe you've got a lot to unlearn. Boom. That was it. The audience gasped. Joy looked stunned. Sonny looked down at the floor, and producers walked onto the set live on air to calmly but firmly ask Michael to step off the camera. Quickly cut to commercial break, but it was too late. The clip had already hit social media, and within minutes the hashtag started trending. By the time the show returned from break, Michael B. Jordan was gone. Whoopi Goldberg remained seated, but her demeanor was cold and tight-lipped. Joy Behar took over the conversation, trying to steer the episode back to normal, but the tension hung in the air like smoke after a fire. Later that day, ABC released a statement. The View is a show committed to open dialogue and honest conversation. While spirited discussions are a hallmark of our platform, we regret the tension that escalated during today's broadcast. We thank Michael B. Jordan for joining us and wish him the best. Michael didn't stay quiet either. Within hours, he posted on his Instagram story. Sometimes telling the truth makes people uncomfortable. I said what I said. Much love to everyone pushing for real change. The internet exploded. Supporters rallied behind him, praising his bravery and calling out the hypocrisy of legacy media. Others defended Whoopi, insisting she had every right to defend her decades of activism. Debates sparked across platforms from Twitter to TikTok, from Reddit threads to morning radio shows. But the drama didn't stop there. The next morning on The View, Whoopi addressed the incident sort of if she looked directly into the camera and said, "We had a tough conversation yesterday. That's what we do on this show. And sometimes when passions run high, things get messy. But I'll never apologize for standing up for what I've lived through." Viewers were divided. Some felt she was doubling down. Others thought she was showing strength. Meanwhile, Michael appeared on another network's late-night show that week and doubled down on his own comments. "I didn't come there to argue," he told the host. "But I also wasn't going to let anyone minimize the fight we're in today. If that makes people uncomfortable, then maybe they should be uncomfortable." The fallout continued. Hollywood insiders began speculating about whether Michael would face professional backlash. Rumors swirled that ABC was debating whether to invite him back for any future promotional tours. On the flip side, grassroots organizations and younger filmmakers rallied behind him, saying he spoke for a generation tired of polite silence and watered-down activism. It wasn't just a moment. It had become a movement. Over the following weeks, major entertainment outlets ran ops dissecting the exchange. Headlines read Michael B. Jordan versus the establishment. Generational clash exposes fault lines in Hollywood. Whoopi versus Michael. A battle of icons and ideals. Podcasts broke it down. YouTubers analyzed every frame. Body language experts gave their 2 cents. Everyone had something to say. But perhaps the most telling moment came when another Hollywood legend, Denzel Washington, was asked about the controversy at a red carpet event. His response, "Sometimes 2 truths collide," doesn't mean either one is wrong. It just means the conversation's real. And that perhaps is the core of it all. Because what happened that morning on The View wasn't just an argument. It was a reflection of something much bigger. Clash of experience and urgency, of legacy and progress, of pain and passion. It reminded everyone that the road to change is messy. It's uncomfortable, and sometimes it means saying things that don't fit neatly into sound bites. Whether you side with Whoopi or Michael, there's no denying that something real happened, something unscripted, something raw. Do it. And in a world of carefully curated public personas and media-trained interviews, maybe that's the most powerful thing of all. Stay tuned for more exclusive updates and deep dives into the stories shaking up Hollywood, live TV, and everything in between. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more drama, more truth, and more behind-the-scenes revelations. Until next time, stay curious and stay watching.